News. Thank you so much for joining us on World News.
Thanks for having me.
Now, what's your take on the state of security in Nigeria?
It's unfortunate the present state we find ourselves. Even the common man on the street knows it's really bad. And then there's a word one can even use instead of bad, it can be worse. It's really worse. And it's unfortunate that it had to take somebody to stand on the floor of the Senate to even insist that the president should resign before we started seeing steps being taken. Well, for the Senate constituting a committee, it's not a surprise to a lot of us. But the question remains, what will happen to the report at the end of the day? This is not the first time committees are being constituted, whether in the Senate, whether the executive. We've seen a lot, but the question is, what happens to the report? Until there is a political will in fighting insecurity, it's unfortunate we will remain the state we are in.
Now, you talked about political will. What do you think should be the way forward? Of course, do you think that the team inaugurated constituting the senators, do you think they can actually tackle the challenges at the moment?
Personally speaking, these guys are going to work based on the information available to them. Like I said earlier, the question remains, what will happen to the report? No matter how intelligent their submissions may be, no matter how well loaded the reports, may appear, if the president decides to ignore it, it's just another report in the books, like several others that have been carried out in times past. Of course, for people who were elected by their various constituencies to represent them at the Senate, definitely I believe they have what it takes, but the question still remains. What will happen to the reports?
Okay, aside the committee that has been constituted, recently also the senators called for the sack of service chiefs. Do you think that's a way to go?
For me, and I know I'm speaking the mind of so many people, that is the first thing that should be done. Besides information available to a lot of us, these guys are served beyond the terms they should be serving. In addition to that, security situation is getting worse by the day. So if you can't fix it, it's very simple. You get them replaced. But we still don't know why the president is still keeping them and will wait for people to cry out loud before you then start taking steps. And like I said, I'm very, very sure within me that part of what will constitute the reports of this committee would definitely be, that is, if they do not play politics with it, would definitely be that the service chiefs should be removed. But the question remains, will the president heed to their reports?
Okay, thank you very much. We do hope that the reports will not be politicized, like you said, and that's the much we can take. Thank you so much for coming to.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.